Hello everyone, and welcome back to some more Seinarukana with me, Phantom Zawai. When we last left off, we finally finished making our way through the trial to reach Narukana, and it seems that we're finally, hopefully, about to meet her. So let's see what happens. We finally fight our way through all of them, and reach the innermost shrine. This is where Narukana supposedly is. The whole area is surrounded by cold stone. It's like every single thing from the outside world. Outside is being blocked out. An empty and motionless place. No regular human could live here. They said Narukana would be here.
おかしいな。真剣の決心という割には何の力も感じないぞ。
そうよね。もしかしてまだ奥があるとか。
力の波動を感じないのはお前らが未熟であるがゆえだ。
A voice resounds through the air.
誰じゃ。なんだ幽霊か。
Raymate clings to my neck. Everyone else tightens their grips on their weapons. But I know this voice. Narukana?
私の声を覚えててくれたんだ。よしよし、さすがは望むね。後でナルカナバッジをあげよう。
なんかいきなり雰囲気が変わったよ。なんか子供っぽい声だね。
何よ、あんたに言われたくないわよ、この野生児。
なんだと。何これ、子供の喧嘩。
Well, I can't say they're entirely wrong.
ループトナのバカ。向こうがへそ曲げちまったじゃねえか。
Where are you, Narukana? We came here like Tamaki told us to. No answer. Just the echo of my voice.
もしかして怒っておられるのではありませんか。たったあれだけのことでですか。ずいぶんと心が狭余計なことは言わない方がいいわ。ごめんなさい。
まあいいわ。私の偉大さはこれから嫌というほど思い知るでしょう。
やっぱり偉そう。ろくなこと考えてないよ、この人。
そこのガキ、後で調教してあげるから覚えておきなさい。
切れた。
頼むからお前はもう喋るな。話が進まない。そうだよ。ただ会いに来ただけじゃないんだから。それでナルカナさん、僕らは。
せっかく来てもらって悪いんだけど、今日は体調が悪いわ。明日また来て。
I'm starting to kind of hate Narukana already.
またあの守り人型どもを超えてこいというのか。
お前が余計なことを言うからだ。謝れ。
なんで僕が。
謝れ謝れ、我をあがめよう。
Please, Ruptuna, apologize to her. We can't get anywhere until she's satisfied.
のぞむがそう言うんだったら。ごめんね、なるかな。
ごめんね、なるかな。あんたは借りた方にジュースをぶちまけた友達ですか。目上。
なんかすっごい性格の悪い真剣さんですね。
Yeah?
ごめんなさい、なるかなさん。これでいいんでしょ。
まあベストは。申し訳ございません、偉大なるナルカナ様。礼儀も知らぬこの豚目をどうか寛大な心でお許しください。だけどそれでいいわ。もう
なんだよそれ。
私はあなたたちのいる地点のさらに進んだところにいるから、ここまで来て。その代わり望む一人で。
なぜ望むだけなんじゃ。
まず望むに話があるの。嫌なら帰ってもらっていいわよ。
Alright, I'm coming.
用心してください。あの性格では何をされるかわかりませんので。
Yeah, take care of Nozomu for me.
いってらっしゃいませ。
I walk further in without any hassle. But Narukana's not here. There's just some talismans hanging around. I'm here. I came by myself, just like you said.
望む、久しぶりだね。
A voice comes out of nowhere right next to me. After a moment, a sword appears out of thin air.
これが私の本当の姿なの。名前は村雲。永遠神剣第1位、村雲よ。
First
あなたの
rank.
命名が反応しているでしょ。
Oh man. Yeah, my hand's been tingling for a while now.
私の力が強大すぎて怯えているのよ。
Is that true, Reime? Reime is hiding behind me and only barely peeks out from behind my shoulder.
あいつとは争わない方がいい。
Wow, you're never this timid.
しかし、なぜだ？懐かしい気もする。
What do you mean?
忘れておるのか、それとも。
She mumbles to herself as she burrows into my pocket, goes back to hiding. Something's off with her right now, but I'm not sure what.
ちょっと待ってね。今人間の姿に変えるから。
Please do. Talking to his sword is pretty weird. Heaven's cloud starts glowing. The sword turns into a pure white silhouette, and then its shape slowly changes. A girl with black hair appears. Her clothes are strange. I'm not sure where I'd say they're from exactly. She stands calmly in front of me. So this is what you usually wear. You were in one of our uniforms in my dream.
うんうん。見惚れちゃったのもわかるわ。いきなりこんな美少女が目の前に出てきたら言葉を失っちゃうよね。胸がドキドキだよね。
Something about her is kind of off. Is she nuts, or is humility something totally unknown to her? Well, I can't say that out loud, or I'll end up going through the same thing as Riptuna.
それにしても、ずいぶん遅かったわね。早く来いって言ったでしょ？
It took a lot of work to get here. And besides, you didn't give me a single clue how to get here.
それぐらいわかるかと思ったの。
How could we? If I hadn't gone to that shrine and met Tokimi. I suddenly realized that Narukana kind of reminds me of Tokimi. Why though? Tokimi was polite and graceful. Nothing like this self-centered girl. If he only knew. And I find that ironic that they say that because, remember, a few episodes back, actually, I was like, oh, Narukana actually reminds me of Tokimi's role in Asale the Eternal because she was a late-blooming character that was very important, blah blah blah.
何？人の顔をジロジロと見て。あ、やっぱりあまりの美少女っぷりに心奪われた。はあ、美しいって罪だね。でもまだお互いのことよく知らないからね。こういうのは順を追っていかなきゃ。積極的なのもそりゃ悪くないとは思うけど。
What are you talking about? Please tell me how to bring Nozomu back.
ちょっとはこっちの話に答えてよ。つまらない。
I'll hang out with you all you want later. Please tell me. You know, don't you?
いいわ。ここにいるのも飽きたし、とりあえず玉木たちのいる奥の院に戻りましょう。そこで話をしてあげる。
If we're just going back there, then why do we have to come all the way out here? I swallow my words, though, and walk back the way I came. Narukana follows. What a troublesome sword.
あの態度の悪い神経は何なのだ？正直どうかと思うぞ。どうもあやつは苦手なのだ。とにかく玉木たちのところに戻ろう。
Yay! Riptuna was the MVP for the first time. That's my girl. Alright. Nozomu is awakened to a new curriculum name, Reinforcer leveled up, so we can level up more. Katsima's Summoner is leveled up. Naya as well. Jacita too!
それじゃあまず、のぞみの現在の状態から話そっか。
Yeah, please. You said she was okay, but I don't understand what's going on with her. Once we left the cave, we all gathered in Tamaki's room again. A bunch of priestesses are fussing over the high and mighty Narukana the entire time, banning her, bringing her drinks, etc. I still feel like I'm missing something here. but I'll keep my mouth shut for now and let her talk.
のぞみには総国っていう力が眠っている。これはわかるわね。上界の力に反応し、その持ち主を破壊するための勘だよ。
それがエドルたちによって覚醒させられたという話でしたね。
そう。総国の力は強大で、覚醒すれば持ち主の意識を侵食する。望みの精神じゃそれに抗えなくて乗っ取られてしまったと。
Isn't that just fame?
そこで私が寛大な心で救いの手を差し伸べてあげたの。ここ重要だからチェックしておいてね。
ナルカナ様はどうでもいいから話を進めて。無給
進めてほしいならお前は喋るなって。
私が取った手段はファイムの意識を利用すること。望みの意識の奥からその意識を引っ張り出してきて蓋にしたってわけ。
Oh, wow. So it wasn't Fame taking over Nozomu, it was Narukana drawing out the personality of Fame from her previous life to shield the personality of Nozomu from Nemesis? Okay, plot twist. I gotta admit, I think that's pretty clever.
ファイムこそがジロールを殺す力を持つ女神ではないのか。それを表に出したらそれこそ望むが危険だろう。
それが違うのよ。ジルオルを殺す神っていうのは総国の意志なの。ファイムもそれに乗っ取られてただけで本来の意志は別にあるの。
つまり今いる無口で望むくんについてくる長峰さんは長峰さんじゃなくてファイムってことですか？
そうよ。望むの意識が覚醒していると総国の影響が強まるから、その間はファイムの精神を覚醒させて侵食された望みの意識を抑えてるの。
So that's why she can be herself only when I'm asleep.
望むの意識がはっきりしている間は、望みはずっとあのままということか。望みがファイムであるうちは総国の力がいきなり発動することはないわ。
ところで前から時々出てくるファイムってなんだ？未だによく理解してないんだけど。
あんた、理解もせずに話を聞いてたの？
ファイムは望みの前世の名前よ。みんなにもあるわ。望むはジルオル、ナイアは確か。よう知っておるな。長生きしてるからね。この世界で知らないことは何もないわよ。
Well, we can talk about that later. We can't leave Nozomu like this forever. We have to do something to get her back.
うん。いくら素直って言っても、その年でお風呂に突っ込んでいくのもね。
So anyway, how do we get her back to normal?
ナルカナ様、意地悪しないで教えて差し上げてください。
それを聞くためにずっと探してたんですよ。
Everyone focuses on her. She looks a little baffled, though.
そうね。理想館に行けばなんとかなると
思う？具体的にはどうするんですか？
こう中枢でいろいろとあれこれしてもろもろいじってやれば解決するって感じ？
Some help you are.
もしやこいつ憶測で語っているのではなかろうな。
Unbelievable. Come on, Narukana. No more double talk. Just tell us what you know.
知っていることを話してるのよ。だからガーッと理想館に行ってダーッと細工すれば望みは元通り。なるかな、嘘つかない。
ガーとかダーとかって何？
一応候補はあるけど、他に移植するとか力ずくで壊すとか望みを強化するとか。
なんか怪しくなってきたぞ。要するにどれも思いつきのレベルでしかないということか。
さっきは何でも知ってるって言ったじゃん。見えっ張り。
期待したわらわたちが間違っていたんじゃろうか。 ちょっと期待外れみたいな言い方をしないでよ。乙女が傷つくでしょ。
I think we're all kind of disappointed, Narukana.
みたいじゃなくて、はっきり言ってるんだと思うけど。
うるさい。偉い人をバカにしたら罰が当たるぞ。
Narukana loses her temper and starts flailing around. So much for any semblance of dignity. Anyway, it doesn't look like we're going to get any closer to bringing Nozomu back to normal right now. Nothing to do but move on. Well, at least we know what's going on with her now. For the sake of Narukana's dignity, let's leave it at that. So our only choice after all is to go back to the Sephiroth.
そうよ。私は初めからそれを主張してたの。
はあ、どう考えても威張っていうことではないな。
しかし何の策もなしに無謀に突っ込んでいっても返り討ちに遭うだけじゃぞ。
これまで戦ってきた感じだと、向こうはこちらの手を見抜いているわね。それは私も感じました。何をやってもこちらの先手を常に取られているような気がします。
あれだけ何度も追い詰められながら幾度となく逃げられている。そう考えるのもおかしくはないな。それに望むと戦ったことすら今思えば奴らに仕組まれていた気がする。
Zetsu.
言い訳するわけじゃないがな。
He mutters to himself, annoyed with the entire thing. Not surprising. I think anybody would be mad if they discovered they were dancing at the end of someone else's puppet strings. But at the same time, part of me is relieved. It meant that Zetsu and I weren't fighting because of us, but because of someone else that was manipulating things.
まあ大丈夫だって。何しろあなたたちのパーティーにこの最強の真剣である私が仲間に加わるんだから感謝しなさい。
Is she gonna join us?
うわぁ、逆に不安だな。
うるさいわね、このチビ豚ゴキブリ。
なんだよこの知ったかぶり、耳出しま。ガルー。
No fighting. I don't even want to think about what would happen if the strongest Eternity Sword got into a fight with an Eternity Sword user.
では、ナルカナ様は望むさんたちと一緒に行かれるのですね。
とりあえず様子を見に行ってはやるわ。あとはまだ決めてない。
そうですか。あ、いえいえ、どうぞお気をつけて。
ナルカナ様、ご無事で。
任せておいて。それじゃあ早速理想館に行くわよ。
Tamaki definitely slumped a little bit when she heard Narukana's answer. I know how she thinks of her now, at least.
早速って待て待て、お主は今の話を聞いておらんかったのか。大丈夫だって、なんとかなるわよ。
Now we have another handful on our side.
でも、ナルカナ様の力は本物ですよ。考えることはわがままで自己中心的ですが、戦闘になれば無類の強さを発揮すると思います。
I hope so. If she couldn't fight, then I'm not sure I'd know what the point of having her around would be.
ナルカナ様をよろしくお願いします。根はいい人なので。
Yeah, I'll try.
私たちはずっとここにおりますので、困ったことがありましたらいつでも立ち寄ってくださいね。
Alright.
立ちたげじゃなかった。モノベイに戻るわよ。とりあえずシャワー浴びさせて。
This is getting pretty crazy. But don't worry. I'll find a way to get you back to normal, okay? I give her a reassuring clap on the shoulder. She nods back. Still, I didn't think apostasy would have this much of an effect. Nozomu lost herself because my power awakened. If she was always going to be at my side, then it's not an accident this happened. Is this part of their plan too? Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it is possible. Okay, I guess it's time for bed then. I open the door and step into my room. I wait for Nozomu to follow me in. then closed the door behind her. I get her place ready to sleep and grab my own blanket. I've gotten used to this now somehow. But if we can defeat the sovereign gods, then Narukana will be able to do something. Maybe. Okay, good night. Once I go to sleep, Nozomu will wake up. Or Nozomi, I think they meant. Nozomi will wake up, and you won't be fine anymore, right? Okay. I guess there's no need to tell you anything else. Let's keep giving it everything we can, Nozomi. Fame. It's weird to think, like, this whole time I was like, okay, Fame is the enemy, and it's like, wow, Fame actually is not the enemy. Fame is just another aspect of Nozomi. It's defending against the power of Nemesis. It's pretty wild. I do like that concept, though. Good swerve there. I turn off the lights and crawl into bed. There's still a lot to think about, but at least we're gathering strong allies, along with our problems. That's something to be a little thankful for, rather. Little by little, moving forward, we will get Nozomi, Satsuki, and Sale's back. I drift off to sleep, holding tight to that belief. There's a bizarre humming coming from somewhere. I open my eyes, not sure if I'm still dreaming or if it's time to get up. I'm still in my bedroom, so there's that. Nozomi's staring at me as usual, too. I sit up, rub my eyes, notice something strange. Someone's in Nozomi's bed. Narukana. When did she come in? Magazines are scattered everywhere around her, and she's somehow found my emergency snack stack. Give me 1 second here, I'm gonna take a drink. Okay, hopefully that helps. Magazines are scattered everywhere around her, and she's somehow found my emergency snack stockpile, and is eating through it like she doesn't have a care in the world. Morning. You do know that this is my room. She doesn't even budge when I complain. Whatever. Anyway, let's get up. I'm exhausted and I've barely even gotten up. Even after getting changed and using the bathroom, Narukana's still in Nozomi's bed when I get back. A letter from Nozomi's on my desk, but I'll read it later, once Narukana's gone. You're kind of in the way. You're just here for the manga. Man, you haven't even been with us for a day and you're already doing whatever you want. Is she really the incarnation of an eternity sword? Even if she weren't, this behavior would be annoying. She reaches out for more snacks as she waves her feet in the air. Nozomi stares at her with the usual deadpan look, but there's something a little more menacing than usual in it. I don't think she's going to follow if I leave. Yeah. I'm going out for a walk. Take care of Nozomi for me. Shinsuke and Misato are coming back. They're both carrying shopping bags, so they were probably out in the city picking up supplies. Just trying to escape for a while. It's okay. It's not serious enough to need you to worry about it. Yes, ma'am. I leave them behind and start leisurely walking through the mountains. Reptuna soon comes trotting up. I left man, I can't read. I left Nozomi with Narukana. I just wanted some time alone to think.
考え事なんて後ででいいよ。それより僕と遊ばない？
She's got a frisbee. In the mountains? Maybe next time.
ちょっとぐらいいいじゃん。ねえね
She follows after me like a begging dog. Fine, just for a little while.
え。やった！でもなんかうまく飛ばないんだよ。コツがあるのかな？
Alright, hand it over. I take the frisbee out of her hands. Alright, fetch! And I throw it as hard as I can, deep into the forest.
ワンワン。
The frisbee disappears into the mass of trees. Reptuna quickly disappears as well, chasing after it. Now I can be by myself for a while.
のぞむ、貴様意外と鬼畜なのだな。
Yeah, that was a real asshole move. Nozomi and Satsuki. Sales, too. There's a lot of stuff to think about. I didn't think that Narukana would end up being so useless. She was so confident in my dreams. She didn't live up to the hype at all. Well, dwelling on that won't help anything. Right now I've got to think about other things.
いい天気だな。風が心地よいぞ。
Remy lies down on my head. Problem is the sovereign gods. We've got to have some sort of plan before we face them again. We've had them on the verge of defeat several times so far, but they've frustrated us by always getting away. Then do they know exactly what we're doing? But how? If they can see everything happening in the world just because they're gods, it's just plain unfair. And we're supposed to be the reincarnations of gods too. Are we helpless? The Sephiroth is their home turf. No, not just there. Everything that's part of the time tree seems to go how they want. Maybe that's why they are called the sovereign gods. It's dicey for us to go up against gods with just the power of our eternity swords. If we could at least do something about whatever's letting them rule as gods, we might be able to make a plan. But what are we... Ah! The ground suddenly slips out from under me. Ow, I tripped. I lost my balance and fell backward. I looked down at my feet and realized that I had wandered off the path while I wasn't paying attention. There's a stream ahead of me. If that had gone worse, I could have fallen in and really hurt myself.
びっくりしたではないか。もっと足元を見て歩け。
Ugh, yuck. I'm not hurt at least, just covered in mud.
情けないな。
I don't want to hear any whining from someone who is sleeping on top of my head.
注意を怠った望むが悪い。
I guess. I was concentrating so much that I stopped paying attention to where I was going. I've always sort of been like that. Whenever I start thinking hard, everything else just slips away. Like the time I fell into a ditch while I was riding my bike while thinking about something or other. It's just a bad habit. I guess I'll head back and change. I feel gross covered in mud. Unfortunately, I guess my walk's over for now. Time to head back to Monobe. Narukana and Nozomi are still in my room when I get back. Looks like she's been keeping an eye on Nozomi like she said she would.
何これおかしい。
Or maybe she's still completely absorbed in manga.
望む、早かったね。
I tripped. Can't you see that I'm covered in mud?
そうだね。
She replies half-heartedly, barely even taking her eyes off the page. I'm going to take a shower and change into a clean pair of clothes. How long is Narukana planning on staying in my room? Actually, come to think of it, have we decided on a room for her yet? It looks like she's intent on staying here for a while. Once I change, I head back to my room. The first thing I see is that everything's now strewn across my desk. All my drawers are open too. What are you doing?
あ、もう戻ってきたんだ。
She doesn't even look sorry about it. Just tries to tidy up my desk like I wouldn't notice.
エッチな本でも隠してないかなと思ってね。
Apparently, she got tired of manga and decided to start ransacking my room. Nozomi is still politely sitting in the middle of it, but for some reason, I can sense a dark aura starting to grow around her. If it was actually Nozomi in control, I bet she'd have tried to stop Narukana. Right now, though, her lack of expression is even more terrifying somehow. I'm not hiding anything.
どうかな。お、これは何？あ、手紙か。何々？
She grabs Nozomi's letter from my desk and starts reading it without even asking. Hold on, who said you could read that?
今は焦らないで。のぞむちゃんは自分のことだけを考えて、私のことは気にしなくていいから。
I just told you to stop reading it. I try to grab it away from her.
いいじゃない。それとも見られて困ることでも書いてあるのかな？
She really is a horrible person. Is she is she this messed up because of how long she lived as an eternity sword?
お、のぞみは預言者だね。
She reads the whole thing. What are you talking about? Give it back.
ほら、ここ、読んでみて。
Let's see. I bet you're overthinking things again, Nozomu.
のぞむちゃんは一度何かに集中すると、周りが見えなくなる癖があるから、転んだりしないように気をつけてね。案の定転んでるし、のぞむちゃんは単純だね。あれ？どうしたの？もしかして怒った？
Nozomi knows my past. She knows what I'm like. She was able to predict that I'd fall down today. Hold on a minute. Something's coming together in my head.
どうしたの？さっきからブツブツと。
Thanks, Narukana. I think I've seen the light.
私に感謝するのはいいことだね。ようやく私の凄さが分かってきたかな？
Nozomi gave me the answer. We might have a chance to beat the sovereign gods. Thank you too, Nozomi. She just tilts her head at me like usual, but I think she looks a little happier now. No time to waste. I have to test this.
試すって何を？
I know. I'll ask Anaya. All right. I run out of my room.
ちょっと無視しないでよ！
I head to the cafeteria, where Naya and some students are working hard to get lunch ready.
ちょっと塩が薄いのじゃ。もっと入れるのじゃ。
それ以上濃くしてどうするのよ。
There she is. I creep up behind her as quietly as I can.
そろそろ皆を呼んでくるか。
She's working restlessly. I get up right behind her and then pinch her cat ears.
なんじゃ。
She turns bright red and swings a backhand at me without even looking. I knew it. Exactly what I was expecting. She hates having her ears pulled. And so she gets hacked without even looking to see who it was. And just like I expect, she tries to punch with her dominant hand as she turns around. I catch it in my palm easily.
望むか。なんじゃ、いきなり。
I may be a genius.
何を笑っておる。気持ちの悪いやつじゃな。
I was just trying to think about how the sovereign gods have been able to predict our actions.
それとわらわの耳を引っ張るのとどう関係がある？
That's a great question. She throws another punch with her free hand. Ow, just listen. I think I've figured out how they're doing it.
何を言っておる？
I sit down and explain what happened today and my idea. So if they figured out a pattern from our past actions, then wouldn't they be able to predict what we're going to do next?
ほう。それでわらわたちの動きを予測していたと。
That's right.
しかし、それは容易ではないぞ。たった1回の行動ならまだしも、何度もこちらの行動を精密に予測するのは非常に難しいじゃろ。よほど長い時間、わらわたちを細かく観察せんと。
Multiple lives, perhaps? That's when she realizes the same thing that I did. It's easy for them to know what our past actions were, because The log sector. Oh, okay. Salas said it had data on everything in the time tree. So wouldn't our pasts be recorded there too?
なるほど。それは確かにそうかもしらん。じゃが、あれだけ膨大な情報から望むやわらわだけの記録を抜き出すことなどできるのじゃろうか。
Well...
サレスがおればサレスに聞くのじゃが。そうじゃ、ナルカナならログ領域のことを知っておるのではないかの。一応何でも知っていると大口叩いておったからな。
I think that's slightly overstated. Alright, let's ask her.
急ぐぞ。
We rush back to my room and ask Narukana about the log sector. This is important, so please answer seriously. If we know how they're predicting the future, then we might be able to figure out a way to get around it.
いいけどさ、その質問に答える代わりに私のお願い聞いてくれる？
What?
この漫画の続き読みたいの。買ってきてくれない？それとさ、ジュースとか飲みたいよね。炭酸系の。
Alright, I'll do it later, so...
へえ、今がいい。今読みたいの。わがままを言うでない。のぞみやさつきたちの命運がかかっておるのじゃぞ。
Naya scolds her as she goes into spoiled brat mode. Narukana turns away in a huff.
まずいな。へそを曲げられたらそれこそ膠着状態に陥るのではないか？
Then let's do this. We'll play rock, paper, scissors. If I win, you answer. You win, I'll go buy that stuff for you.
じゃんけんで私に勝てると思ってるの？
You're confident.
いいわよ。のぞむが負けたらすぐにパシってきてな。
Roger.
のぞむ、負けるでないぞ。
Alright then. She puts her hands together, closes her eyes, and thinks about something for a few moments. Then her eyes suddenly snap open.
最初はグー。
She starts yelling it before I'm ready. Hey, hold on here. Shoot! In a panic, I threw out scissors. She threw rock.
やったー、私の勝ちね。のぞむ。
Hold on, no fair.
勝負ごとに卑怯もへったくれもないの。勝てばいいんだから。
She's back in high spirits again and completely ignores our complaints.
負けたんだから約束通りパシってきて。最新刊と炭酸入りのジュースよ。頼んだわね。
Yeah.
買ってきてくれたら今回の勝負のからくりを説明してあげるわ。多分それは望むたちが聞きたいことだと思うよ。望む、速攻で買ってくるのじゃ。
Man, fine. I hurry out and into the city. 30 minutes later. I get what she wanted and a few extra snacks just to be safe. Head back to my room. Okay, Narukana. I got what you wanted, so tell me.
しょうがないな。
She starts reading the manga I gave her while talking like she's annoyed that she has to do this.
望むってさ、最初はグーでせかすと必ずチョキを出すんだよね。
思い返せば確かにそうかもしれないな。しかしなぜ昨日会ったばかりの汝が知っているのだ？
Obviously not.
なんていうのかな。ログに書いてあったから。
Isn't that cheating?
そうかもね。でも勝つためには手段を選ぶなってこのおじさんも言ってるよ。
Narukana points to a scene in the manga and laughs cheerfully. Naya and I glance at each other and nod.
やはりそうか。ならば奴らのような行動も可能じゃな。
But you can just access the log like that?
私とか管理神とかだけじゃないかな。何も使わないでアクセスできるの。そうじゃな。わらわたちでは特殊な端末が必要じゃ。なぜか知らないけど私はログを読めるんだよね。多分エトルたちがそうしたのかもしれない。それはともかくログを読んで相手の行動を予測するってのは私はごく自然に昔からやってたわ。望むたちだって 過去の統計から未来をある程度予測することができるでしょ？
Like how I caught Naya's punch after I pinched her ears. But that's because I knew how she'd react. You wouldn't normally know much about someone you've never met, and certainly not be able to predict them with that much certainty.
ログ領域にはどんなデータも保存されておるのか？
そうね。必要なことから全然関係のないことまでね。例えば
She closes her eyes again. Is she accessing the log sector?
のぞむが小さい頃、眠ってるのぞみの胸触ったでしょ。夏休みの初日に。
What?
何をやっとるのじゃ、己は。
It was a really long time ago. I'm kind of scared of the log sector now. Then it's not just Reime who knows everything that's happened to me since I was young.
私を通せば、多分のぞむたちもログ領域を覗くことはできるかも。
本当か？
Let's see it.
めんどくさいんだけど、今回は特別ね。結構疲れるんだから。
とは言っても、どうすればいいのじゃ？
私の頭に手を置いて。それだけで大丈夫。
Like this?
そうよ。私がログ領域にアクセスしてる間、絶対にその手を離さないでね。
Okay.
なるかな、なるかな。それは我も覗けるのか？
やめておいた方がいいよ。あんた程度じゃ消し飛んじゃう。素直に真剣に潜ってなさい。
無か。あんた程度とは何語？
Reime, is there a problem?
なんでもない。なんでもないから、とっととログ領域に行ってこい。
望む、早くするのじゃ。時間が惜しい。
それじゃあ始めるよ。直接情報に触れるわけじゃないけど、目をつぶされないようにね。
Narukana closes her eyes, and rather, like she did before. She goes completely still, like she's meditating. I trust in her, and concentrate on my hand on her head. Oh. This is the second time that I've seen this blinding light.
ここがログ領域か。ここにある白い光は、すべて時間時の記録じゃな。
精霊回路を通して情報を覗いているだけだから、身の危険は感じないでしょ？
Yeah, it's not like last time. I could feel it pressing in all around me like a storm before.
でも気をつけて。この光は見るだけでも精神に負担をかけるわ。気を抜いていると。
待て、望むの反応がなくなったぞ。
だから今言ったじゃん。もう一度接続を解除するからね。
Whoa, what was that?
情けないわね。目に映る情報処理できずにバーストしちゃったのよ。
Oh, sorry.
一度ログ領域に入っているのよね。よく戻ってこれたわね。
That hurts. Sales and Satsuki saved me.
まあいいわ。今度はちゃんと不要な情報は自分で弾くのよ。いい？
Okay. We put our hands back on our head and get ready to go back to the log sector. Naya and I are already covered in sweat. It's really hard on us just connecting to it. Narukana, on the other hand, looks perfectly fine. May have to rethink my opinion of her again.
どういう情報を見たいのか、慣れてくれば自然と必要な情報だけ短時間で得られるようになるわ。
基本は、わらわが支えの塔でやったことと同じことじゃ。
Really?
ナルカナのように素早くとはいかんが、ゆっくりと一つ一つ情報を精査していけば迷うことはないじゃろう。
もちろん、何を見たいかにもよるわよね。
So they've been researching our pasts in here, and then predicting our actions based off of that.
そうよ。私が望むとじゃんけんする直前にもここにアクセスしたわ。
そのようなゲート、わらわたちには100年かかってもできそうにないな。
Yeah, it's taking everything I've got just to block out the unnecessary
じ
data.
ゃあ、そろそろ戻りましょうか。もう望むが限界みたいだし。
待て、
What is it?
情報の中に何かが混ざっておる。
ノイズのように歪んだ情報じゃ。これは過去の記憶などではないな。
Satsuki?
へえ、よく見つけられたわね。ちっこいくせに結構すごいじゃん。
ひょっとしてこれはサツキではないか。
What? Satsuki?
分解されておるが、明らかに人であったとおぼしき成分を含んでおる。
Then probably. No, it's got to be her. A hot, suffocating feeling rises up in my chest. She sacrificed herself so that we could get away. And because of that, her body and mind were dissolved into this massive sea of data.
彼女を助けたいのよね。
Of course. I nod vigorously.
でもここからじゃログ領域を覗くことしかできないわ。
やはり行くしかないのじゃ。
That's right.
決まりじゃな。
All we can do right now is leave. But at least we know that Satsuki's still in here now. We have to let everyone know. After we finish lunch, I make all of the brigade stay to discuss things with them. Naya and I tell them about our decision to go back into the Sephiroth, despite their concerns.
ずいぶん急な話ですね。
何があったのですか？
Actually, using Narukana's power, Naya and I were able to access the log sector earlier.
ログ領域とは理想感にあったあれですか？
そうじゃ。望むとサツキが飛び込んだ時間樹の記憶の海じゃ。
なんでナルカナを？
それは私が人類を超越した存在だから。
She sticks out her chest proudly. Narukana, can you just be quiet for a little while? If she starts interrupting, we're not going to get anywhere.
何よその言い方。ナルカナ様を敬え。
当然のことじゃが、望みはずっと自我を取り戻さんままじゃ。このまま放っておくわけにもいかん。それにサツキとサレスも理想感に残してきたままじゃ。
ということはイカルガはまだ。
ログ領域でサツキと思われる情報を察知したのじゃ。サツキは我々が来るのを待っておる。
本当に？
それを早く言いなさいよ。
That she's still alive in there looks to be the best news for everyone.
イカルガを元に戻せる自信は？
ログ領域に直接飛び込むことができれば 100% サツキを助けられるわ。
That starts a commotion. That's why we need to go back to the Sephiroth. We're going back to save the friends that we left behind. That's our goal.
助かるって分かってるならもう行くしかないですね。
明確な目標ができたわ。頑張りましょう。
Everyone nods in agreement.
けど今の俺たちじゃエトルたちに対抗できない。だからその対抗手段を考えるって話だったよな、確か。
They've been watching what we're doing, even now.
どういうこと？
奴らは自由にログ領域を覗けるのじゃ。そこには時間樹内で起こった全ての記録。
That's why it seemed like they always knew exactly what we were doing. They calculated it based on the massive amount of data in the log sector, and were able to precisely predict what we do next.
なるほど、そういう仕組みだったのですか。
ということは俺たちにも対抗手段があるということか。
Euphoria thinks quickly and nods with him, but most of the rest look confused.
どういう意味だか全然わかんないよ。
ちんぷんかんぷんだ。
まあイノシシと僕っ子では仕方あるまい。
この時間樹に存在するものは今までの全ての情報を理想関心たちに知られ、行動を予測されておる。しかし逆に時間樹の記録に過去がない人物がいれば、彼らにとっては想定外のイレギュラーであり、その予測を崩す突破口となるのではないかという結論になる。
なるほど、やっと分かったぜ。
なにますますわかんないって。
Come on, Riptuna. Ah, now we see who's the slowest among us. Ouch!
過去がない人物。一人しかいませんね。
Everyone but Reptuna looks at Euphoria. Outside the time tree, she starts to fidget under all the attention.
私でお役に立てるのでしたら。
Wasn't very inspiring. She came from outside the time tree, therefore the log sector has almost no data on her. The fact that she even exists is a massive disruption to their predictions.
以前理想感から脱出できたのは確かこの子の力のおかげだったな。
Right. If she wasn't there, we might not still be able, we might not still be alive. We wouldn't have been able to escape the Sephiroth, and would have all been killed.
つまり今私たちが生きているってだけでもあいつらの予想の範囲外になるってことね。
あとはそのイレギュラーの要素をどんどん広げてやればよい。それを行うのがユーフォリアだ。はい、頑張ります。
Alright, then let's get ready to go.
おう。
まったくグズグズしてくれちゃって。サレス様をようやく助けに行けるのね。
そういえば長峰さんやイカルガさんのことばかりでサレスさんのことを忘れてたよ。
That's mean, Subaru.
あ、そうだよね。あんたたちなんでタリアが怒るのさ。
Oh wow. Okay, we're almost an hour in, so yeah, this is a good place to end the episode. So, hope you guys are still enjoying it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.